and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health. I am your host, Tosin Adebayo. Here, we bring you up to date with NAFDAC's activities with regards to its mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation. Today's program focuses on the press briefing on joint international destruction of 5 by 40 feet containers of unregistered pharmaceuticals, including Tramadol, 200 milligram, and higher strength, on the 21st and 22nd of December 2022. A destruction exercise of unregistered pharmaceutical, including Tramadol 200 milligram and higher strength, took place in Cotonou, Benin Republic. It was a collaboration between the government of Nigeria and Benin Republic.
Toi, tu ne veux rien faire. Il faut descendre, tu vas porter. Regarde, reste en bas, ils vont te charger. Phone number. Yes, yes. Yeah, I have your number. You are going to send it to me. I will send it to you on your WhatsApp or Telegram. Look, Bruce, you don't wake up.
The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Christiana Adeyeye, gives an elaborate insight into how the agency was able to burst the plan to bring in the unregistered drugs into Nigeria.
Following an intelligence report from the Presidency, Director General of NAFDAC, that is me, in August 2018, that is about 5 years, 4.5 years. In August 2018, directed the Ports Inspection Directorate, Professor Adebayo, that is standing on my right, on the intention of some unscrupulous importers to ship 31 containers of unregistered pharmaceutical products, including Tramadol, 200 milligram. The prescription strength of Tramadol is 50 and 100 milligram. But these containers have Tramadol above 100. They have 200, they have 225. A strength that can fry the brain of anybody. A strength that has driven some of our children mad. The containers were labeled building materials for bonded terminal. The Director Ports Inspection Directorate, Professor Adebayo, working with intelligence and monitoring units in his own directorate, commenced the surveillance and monitoring of the reported containers from the ports of loading to the successive ports, where they were transloaded along the sea routes. The containers were supposed to have left India, but our staff were monitoring them after I gave that direction. They were monitoring them on the sea. That is what NAFDAC can do. The first approach was to collaborate with the Nigerian Customs Service under the leadership of Controller General Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired. Eventually, 21 of the containers were discharged at the Apapa port in Lagos, in Nigeria, as manifested. One container couldn't be tracked because of missing container number. All these things took place in 2018, and we are now in 2023. Out of the 21 containers, only 2 had building materials. All of them were labeled building materials. However, as the importers of the containers became aware that NAFDAC was tracking and monitoring the containers on arrival at the Apapa port and intercepting them, they decided to change their strategy by diverting the remaining containers away from the Nigerian port. 4 containers never got to Nigeria but were discharged at transshipment in Malaysia. They knew that the 4 containers will also be intercepted, so they stopped them at Malaysia. 1 container was transferred to Cotonou port in the Republic of Benin, while the remaining 4 were initially diverted to the Tema port in Ghana, but later diverted them to Cotonou, having met resistance from Ghana Food and Drug Agency. 1 container was first diverted to Cotonou, and then another 4, knowing that our port became hot because of the presence of PID. 4 other containers went to Ghana, and Ghana told them, where were you sent to go? They said it's Nigeria. They said, go back to Nigeria. Those 4 containers also went to Cotonou port, having met resistance from Ghana Food and Drug Agency that NAFDAC already contacted. We contacted them for collaboration to stop those 4 containers. Director General myself then liaised with the ambassador of Nigeria to the Republic of Benin at the time, His Excellency Mr. Kayode Oguntuashe, who worked tirelessly to ensure that the port authority in the Republic of Benin effected the seizure of the 5 containers on the request of NAFDAC. His successor, His Excellency Mr. Kayode Aluko, never relented in his efforts at ensuring that all these 5 containers are released to NAFDAC for destruction. Meanwhile, the other 24 containers were already destroyed in Nigeria. Some entity, however, took the case to court in Benin, and I will not be surprised if it is from Nigeria that this entity left from to go to Benin to stop our destruction there, that they said we should bring it back to Nigeria. This took about 1 year plus. This court case took about 1 year plus, but Ambassador Aluko stayed on the case until the court made the judgment that the containers can be destroyed in Benin Republic. Alas, the government of the Republic of Benin eventually agreed to engage with the Nigerian counterparts, that is Port Inspection Directorate, to carry out and our own enforcement. We have an Investigation and Enforcement Directorate to carry out the destruction of these containers in Cotonou. This happened December 21, 2022. The following products were found in the 5 containers during the joint physical examination. Tramadol, they call it Tamra 225, that's the strength, 1,276 cartons. Tramadol 250 milligram, 571 cartons. Tramadol 120 milligram, 129 cartons. Another Tramadol 225 milligram, 415 cartons. Really extra diclofenac tablets, 50 milligram, 58 cartons. Reality extra diclofenac tablets, 50 milligram, 24 cartons. So what they did was to use the the regular medicine, like diclofenac is anti-inflammatory medicine, to surround the tramadol that was in the container, to make it look as if it is just pharmaceuticals. The street value of the drugs was estimated at 95 billion naira.
NAFDAC's return to the port after a 7-year absence is adding the required verve to the war on illicit drug trade.
I would like to thank the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for returning NAFDAC to the ports in May 2018 after 7-year absence. It was the return of NAFDAC to Nigerian ports that made the 4.5 years monitoring of unregistered pharmaceuticals, including Tramadol, to be possible. The presidency is acknowledged. We thank Controller General Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, whose leadership fostered the collaboration and the success of NAFDAC's regulatory activities. The agency is grateful to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Nigerian ambassadors to Benin Republic, Excellency Oguntuashe and Excellency Aluko, for their resilience and professionalism over the period of this monitoring. I want to thank the staff of Port Inspection Directorate that are surrounding me right now, who doggedly ensured that the agency's mandate was carried out. That is, regulating and controlling importation of regulated products. That is our primary mandate, importation and exportation.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching NAFDAC and Your Health. This international landmark achievement has shown how resolute NAFDAC is in collaborating with necessary agencies and partners to safeguard the health of Nigerians.
The Management and Governing Council of NAFDAC would like to recognize the support of the following partners in the fight against misuse and abuse of drugs: the Government of the Republic of Benin, Nigerian Embassy in the Republic of Benin, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Ghana Food and Drug Agency. Finally, our appreciation goes again to all individuals who have contributed in a significant way to ensure that today becomes a reality. More importantly, to the gallant officers of Port Inspection Directorate in Seme and Apapa, who refused to be compromised by ensuring that the agency continue in our efforts at safeguarding the health of the nation. A team of NAFDAC officers, including Investigation and Enforcement Directorate officers, led by Professor Adebayo, the Director of Port Inspection Directorate, standing on my right, traveled to Cotonou, where the destruction exercise of the 5 containers took place on 21st and 22nd December 2022. This international landmark achievement that had never been recorded in the history of the two countries and not in the history of NAFDAC did not come without the unflinching efforts of the staff of PID, our own staff, in Apapa and Seme border. The person standing by me is our officer in Seme, Dr. Nuran. What we do with logic, with brain, without fireworks in the media, because a lot of this is intelligence, is investigation, and it is time bound.
The rate of influx and therefore interceptions of falsified and unwholesome products at our ports have significantly reduced, due in part to the proactive measures the agency had put in place and have strengthened over the last few years. These measures ensure that substandard and falsified products do not even leave their countries of origin in the first place.
We import about 70% of our drugs from Southeast Asia. Last year, I took about 7 or 8 staff there. We have changed our clean report investigation analysis, inspection analysis rather, in China and India, because there were loopholes in the pre-shipment analysis. So we read the Riot Act to the CRI agents. We dropped 1 or 2 CRI agents that have been compromising. And before, the laboratories are directly under the CRI agents. Now we started visiting the labs. We wrote down the criteria that a lab must have, because in the past, a lab will say it can do this, but they don't even have any equipment to do it. So we wrote down the criteria and visited maybe about 17 labs in both countries to ensure that when results are coming from those labs, we know them. So things have been happening since our visit. The CRI agents now will tell us, oh, we are rejecting this particular product. The lab and the CRI agent, we are rejecting this particular product because the tablet is not dissolving as much as it's supposed to. We are rejecting this because there is no active ingredient in it. So it is from the pre-shipment that we are now starting, so that our level of confidence for products coming from outside will increase.
NAFDAC has made unprecedented gains in stopping the influx of substandard and falsified regulated products from entering into Nigeria, especially substances like Tramadol. These achievements have been a result of interagency and international collaborations spearheaded by joint efforts of the Ports Inspection and Investigation and Enforcement Directorates of the agency.
Our Ports Inspection Directorate is extremely vigilant. They know they have the single portal window where they can detect so many things now. Fake NAFDAC registration certificate, things like that they have, and that is also going to help in terms of from the country to the port of entry and then post-marketing. So we are doing all this. It's a holistic approach.
Basically, as Port Inspection Directorate is concerned, we have achieved so much. I remembered when Professor Adeyeye took the mantle of leadership of the agency. Before then, there have been issues around influx of Tramadol. Within a month, we intercepted more than 36 containers of Tramadol. When the heat was on the importers of Tramadol, they started diverting to the neighboring West African countries, of which we did not relent our efforts through a collaboratory effort across regulatory agencies in West African countries, and also the fact that we had a very reliable ambassador to Benin Republic, Nigerian ambassador to Benin Republic, so we were able to accomplish a lot.
The tables and graphs represent the records of seizure made during the period covering November 2017. Table 1, Figure 1 represents the seizure of containers of illegally imported unregisterable doses of Tramadol made from December 2017 to March 2020. It can be seen that the number of containers gradually reduced from a high of 11 to 1 in June 2018, before rising to 14 in September 2018. This increase was due to the increased surveillance and monitoring arising from information that we were able to obtain from intelligence sources that enabled the agency to monitor the containers from the originating ports at the countries of source through the shipping channels, thereby ensuring that the interception were effectively achieved in spite of several attempts by the importers to transload the ship on the high sea and at several ports along the West African coast. Currently, there has been a significant reduction in the number of interception that we have been obtaining with respect to substandard, fake, or falsified pharmaceuticals and other unwholesome NAFDAC-regulated products at the port.
The collaboration between NAFDAC and other international agencies, as shown in the Benin Republic destruction exercise, is key to sustaining the prevention of unregistered and unwholesome products from getting into Nigeria, a task the Director General is not taking lightly.
We go after anywhere we know that there is falsification, there is counterfeiting. Our enforcement is at high alert every time. And we get tips from the citizens, because this is not just NAFDAC's problem. It is our societal, it's a societal problem. So if somebody sees something that is too good to be true, that is suspicious, they should call us. And we have been very successful, and 2 or 3 times now. The way they describe it, it was the way we found the people that are trying to kill our people with falsified medicines.
Bah, tu ne veux rien faire. Il faut descendre, tu vas porter. Regarde, reste en bas, ils vont te charger.
Don't wake up. Bear the cat. Just throw it. That's it. Don't be today now.
Here is where we draw the curtains on this edition of the program. Join us same time, same station next week for another informative package. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Importing, producing, distributing and selling fake drugs and cosmetics, adulterated food, and so on are criminal activities that destroy lives. Join the fight against these heinous crimes by reporting any suspicious activity in your area to NAFDAC. Let's join hands to safeguard the health of the nation. See you next week. Stay safe.